Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to another channel update. This one for July 2016. Very, very late in the month, but I wanted to make sure that I got one out this month because July marks the 3-year anniversary of the channel. Yes, I have been doing this stuff for three years. Not every day for 3 years, but it's I think every day has been about 2 years now with that. So it's been quite the ride. The game in the background is Mass Effect, in case you were wondering. So what I generally try to do every month is just give you some background information on the channel, how everything's going, how the sausage is made a little bit, stuff that doesn't really fit into a normal Let's Play or otherwise. Now, you might notice, we'll see how much noticeable it is or not, that my voice probably sounds different today. That is because I am trying out a new headset mic. Now this microphone is it's an Audio-Technica BPH something 1 or something like that. It's a broadcast headset, and it goes through a DSLR connection to I have purchased a Tascam 2x2 USB thing that converts, USB power to whatever supersonic power, or whatever it's called for DSLR stuff. And there's 2 ports on it, so I have some room for expansion there. This headset, by the way, I've did some research around. I heard that it was decent. I mean, it's hard to find good information on headsets in particular, because a lot of people say, hey, you want to do podcasting, you want to do YouTube, you want to do stuff like that, use get a microphone swing arm and use a regular stand-up microphone or a desktop microphone, that kind of thing. This is not replacing my Blue Yeti. I still have that. I'll still be using that for the majority of the videos that you'll see here. I think hopefully if this works out well and I figure out all the buttons, knobs, and switches on the Tascam here, I should be able to upgrade my Blue Yeti to another Blue microphone. I believe there is a Blue microphone that is a DSLR that is also comes highly recommended for people who do like podcasts and stuff, which I figure if it's good enough for a podcast, it's probably good enough for a YouTube video. So that's usually my way of selecting equipment for the stuff around here in the office, and the stuff for content creation and whatnot. So hopefully maybe by the end of the year I will probably treat myself as a holiday present to myself with a new microphone as well. So maybe hopefully this is a little bit of an upgrade as far as microphones go. I don't know. I'm hoping that this reduces some of the echo and other incidental noises that you hear usually in my videos. We'll see how that works out or not. Honestly, the real reason I got the headset mic was for streaming, and also for if I can figure out how to do it, some VR recording, because I've been playing with it here and there, trying to record VR stuff. I haven't quite figured out exactly how to do it, or how to make it look good anyway. Let's put it that way. But one of the big problems with VR stuff is that I'm moving my head around constantly, and you can't really do that with a static microphone, because you usually set your microphone for cardioid, I think is how you pronounce that mode, where it's only picking up voices in the very front of the microphone, not if you're moving your head around. You'll fade in and out all the time. So having a headset mic where the microphone's always pointing at my head should hopefully resolve that a little bit, because I am moving my head around right now and kind of testing it a little bit as we go. So some upgrades in the future. Hopefully this even sounds a little bit better. I'm still playing with the gain and stuff. I have the gain up pretty high, and it's still kind of, my voice is still kind of low, which I think is good, but on the same hand, I don't have a whole lot of range upon which to maneuver it quite yet. So we'll see how it works as I run it through Audacity and clean up any of the background noise and any of the other make it even, make my voice pattern even, and all that stuff. Put some bass back into it, that kind of thing. So we'll see how that works out. It does nicely have a little nubbin on it to try to reduce some wind and other breathing noises. So that should hopefully work out quite well. So as far as statistics on the channel go, we've got we went from 1,531 videos to 1,596 videos this month from last month, and we went from 81,483 total channel views to 84,560 views. Now there was a bit of a blip in the matrix as it was last month, and I had a feeling something was going on. I might have even mentioned it in the last month's update. But we went from 368 subs then down to 351, which is where we were in the prior month. And what happened was I started to see a sudden surge of subscribers, and I was like, this is kind of weird because I don't usually see that many come in at once. And it just kept going up every single day. And I was like, something's up here, because I didn't see a subsequent jump in views or anything either. So I was kind of, biding my time and see what happens, because I know YouTube and Google in particular are really bad at actually doing analytics, even though that's their entire job. So they apparently someone did something wrong over in Google headquarters, and a lot of channels suddenly plummeted. A lot of subs went. There were some channels that lost 20,000, 13,000 subs. They weren't, as far as I'm concerned, real numbers anyway. So we went from, I think I was at 371 at the peak and lost 20, something like that, 19 or 20, back down to where it was, which, I was anticipating something like that happening, but I was, being such a small channel, it was still a bit of a kick in the gut, even though the numbers were incorrect in the first place. They weren't real subs that lost. It still felt like a punch in the gut. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this sucks a little bit. But, you just pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep on going, especially, that's, that is the nature of YouTube. And heck, if I had done that, every time something like that happened, I wouldn't have been on YouTube now for 3 years doing this stuff. So that is a thing. We're close to 1,600 videos, total videos on the channel, which is mightily impressive, I must say. Again, never thought I'd get to that point. We'll see what happens if I can make it to 2,000 videos by the end of this year. I don't think, probably not by the end of this year, probably be maybe February or March if I keep going at the rate that I'm going, which I'm happy to say I'm trying to continue on at the pace that we've been doing. I've been continuing to play Big Pharma, and I think I outlined my how I was going to do, when that was going to end last month, so I'm not going to go back over that again. I've started to play quadrilateral. Let's see if I can pronounce this now. Quadrilateral. It's not a hard word. Quadrilateral Cowboy is what I've been starting to play. It's decent. I'll probably play it until I get tired of it, or until it finishes. From what I understand, it's not much different going through the rest of the missions as the first couple missions were. So if that were the case, and hopefully I'm not, my sinuses aren't coming through here. If that's the case, then I'll probably play through the entire game, and that'll be a nice little thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays, along with Big Pharma there, because they're both strategy games. One note about it that I have done as a takeaway for all my videos going forward, or well, most of them anyway, is any new series I do, I'm going to start to adopt the thumbnail pattern that I've started to do, which is to have a little sidebar with the game's name and what episode number, and then have an actual image of the game or of the episode, an image from the episode in the thumbnail. I initially backed off of that because, well, A, it makes it easier for me to just update a number and not have to worry about a screenshot, but B, I felt like when my videos get thrown into the mix of everybody else's videos, that if you have a consistent thumbnail, then maybe it would stand out more. But it looks like, just based on my completely unscientific, glance down my my view numbers here, it looks like games that, thumbnails where I have actually shown an image, a still image from the episode coming up, seem to cause people to click on that episode more often than not. I guess, and I kind of see why, because you're kind of getting a little preview, if you will, of what's coming up, and sometimes you see an image and you're like, wow, what is that? And you just click on it just to fast forward through to find that path or whatever, or find that point in the video. So I could see that all being a thing. So I think going forward, for series anyway, I'm going to do that. For side quest videos, I'm just going to continue to do what I do, which is try to find a image from their press kit if the devs have managed to put one together, which is more often than not the case. I mean, AAAs are especially bad with putting press kits together. They just don't do it. And a lot of indies don't do it either. Like, Quadrilateral Cowboy and all those, like they have no press kit. So I had to take the title screen and then just sort of superimpose an image on top of that and stuff. And it's just, wherever I can, I'll use their images. Otherwise, it'll be just images of the title screen usually. Especially with like the Elder Scrolls Legends, like you would think the Elder Scrolls Legends would have a press kit since they're trying to get people interested in the game, but nope, they don't. Nothing at all. There's not even a link for it. It's just, there's a link for media and it's got a bunch of images that aren't, interesting enough or don't have Elder Scrolls Legends on them in order to be, a thumbnail of any description. So that's the way that is rolling. So for those will continue the way they are. For series like Elder Scrolls Online and Big Pharma, I'm not going to do it for, because I'm just going to let that series run out the way it is with the thumbnails the way they are. Any existing series that I have going on are just going to run with thumbnails. Cube Ramblings, it's just going to be the regular thumbnail thing, because there's nothing really. I mean, I could put a screenshot up of every episode, and it wouldn't look any different from one episode to the next usually. So there's no point in that. So the ones that are currently running on, I'm just going to go with the way that I've been doing the thumbnails to then, and then as we do new ones, as new series come down, I'll switch over to the new thumbnail theme-ish thing that I'm trying to do. So there's that. There was a few Content ID hits this month. Destiny got one for, believe it or not, the music in the card selection screen. Of all things, that music was hit with Content ID. So there are unfortunately ads probably on that video. I can't do anything about that. That's not, money's not going to me. It's going to somebody else. I actually looked. I did a lookup of it to see who had claimed it and how. And there's actually a site that big industry names go and buy their royalty-free music from, and they buy it for a price, and then they have a license to use it. And the funny thing about that is, you can buy it. Like, I could have possibly bought that audio, although it was $60 just for that one track, which boggles my mind. But anyway, $60 for that. But then, how does that stop the Content ID? Because all you have to do then is, you have to dispute it, and then if you dispute it, you've just lost money for those couple days. I mean, that's just dumb. I don't know how that works, but apparently that's a thing that people do. So there you go. That's the information on on what has been going on with that, we finished up a bunch of things last month. The Solus project is continuing on. It's going to be a little bit bare bones probably this week because I'm trying to get a few things. I'm a little bit behind on things. But I do want to continue playing that game. I do want to continue and finish it because it's pretty compelling. It's interesting. I'm enjoying that a bit. It's just taking me a while to, sort of get through it and find all the things to find. It's definitely a walking simulator through and through. But that will still be around, and it will still be one day a week. It's just I missed it today, Saturday the 30th, because I wanted to get this video out and I wanted to record this. I'm actually recording it the day of, so it's going to go out late probably. And I just it just slipped through. I was trying to get other things done. As far as live streams go, I've started live streaming Borderlands 2. I've actually gotten a lot of interest from viewers, a lot of viewers popping through and saying hi and chatting in the chat. So that's been pretty cool, and not just Twitch either. It's been both Twitch and YouTube gaming. So that's good to see. That's really fun. Really great. It's great to have people there to sort of bounce things off of, and to they're trying to teach me how to do things and show me all the secrets and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. I've got also finally got OBS Studio to be configured and working pretty much the way I want it to work and be configured, which is improving quite a bit the quality of the stream, I'd say. I managed to link it into the Restream chat. I use a Restream chat app, which is actually really nice now. They've done a lot of work to it. It allows me to see all the chats on my screen from all the different services, from Hitbox and YouTube Gaming and Twitch, all at the same time, all in one combined chat. And it runs its own little web server, so you can have the chat actually. You can use the browser plugin in Studio, OBS Studio, to point to your local host, bring that web page up, and as chat comes through, it'll actually show up in your stream, and you can put little special effects on it, like I think when it like pops onto the screen, and then it'll like shake a little bit when it disappears after a couple seconds, and that kind of thing. So that's really nice, because then I always have if I'm talking to someone in chat or someone's asking a question or whatnot, and you're watching the replay of it, you'll be able to see it even if it's on someone from a different service. You know what I mean? So if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll be able to see the Twitch chat. If you're watching it on Twitch chat, you'll be able to see the YouTube chat, that kind of thing. So that's nice. It makes everything nice and compact, and it makes it all seamless for people. So I am stoked about that. I'm glad that's working. I've also done the deed, and I've got both my PCs upgraded to Windows 10 because yesterday, the 29th, was the last day you could do it for free. So I did it, and I bit the bullet, and yesterday's stream took me forever and a day to get the stream running because all the audio was blown out. I had to go and fix the audio stuff again, but that looks like I got that fixed finally. I'll have to do some more tweaking to it, but it looks like it's working okay now. My recording stuff, I was really worried about Vegas and whether Vegas would work with editing and stuff, but it's actually worked quite well. I haven't had any problems with it thus far, so knock on wood, everything's good there. I was able to reinstall all the codecs that I use, and DxTory hasn't given me any issues, which surprises the crap out of me, because that usually is pretty picky about things, but it's been quite quiet and just working, so I am happy about that. And just general Windows 10 stuff. I've spent so much time tweaking the registry in this thing because god awful stuff, man. I mean, it's like, I don't like Macs because they try to do too much stuff for you. They try to hide all the options from you. And Windows, it's like, well, we're not going to hide the options, but we're going to make it so that your options don't matter, right? It's like I turned off, here's an example, a good, really blazing example that just pisses me off to no end. I wanted to turn off Windows Defender because it's a piece of crap. Nobody uses Windows Defender because it sucks, right? I have Bitdefender. I've got an antivirus on here already. I don't need it, right? So I went into the menus like normal, into settings, and I said, turn off real-time protection. And it's like, okay, I'm turned off. Well, 15 minutes later, it would turn itself back on, and I wouldn't know it. It wouldn't tell me. It wouldn't say anything. I go back into the menu, and I'm like, what would happen, though, is it would suddenly pop up a message a little bit later that says, hey, I found a virus, but I can't get rid of it. I found malware, but I can't get rid of it. And when I looked at the malware file that I found, it was the test file that all the AV products use to test whether or not their engine's working properly. It kept flagging that thing, saying, oh, I can't get rid of this. And it kept annoying the crap out of me. I'm like, didn't I just turn you off? Why are you even annoying me? And it's like, nope, it turned itself back on again. So I had to, because I have Windows Home Premium, which just happens to be what I got when I bought the computer, right? It was there's no local group policy management. So if you want to turn things off permanently, you have to actually do the registry entries that the local group policy manager would do for you. So I found a YouTube video of somebody who did it, and if you look through my Twitter timeline, you'll see I liked their video there. And just I was able to go in and finally turn Windows Defender off entirely with a registry entry. But it's nonsense like that drives me nuts. It's like when I did a search for the first time, it's like Cortana pops up and is like, hey, it looks like you're trying to do a search. Would you like me to search for you? Like, no, Clippy, go away. Nobody likes you. And then I had to go, and then there's like sneaky settings. It's like, oh, well, we'll still keep looking on the web for stuff and monitoring our analytics and things. Like, no, stop that. So I managed to clear some of that stuff out. I'll be doing a lot more tweaking and stuff as we go. It's a nightmare, pain in the neck, everything under the sun to get everything back to the way you want it. But so far, it hasn't messed up too many of my settings, at least for video and stuff like that. So I think everything should be going well as far as that's concerned. It looks like all the videos that I've been rendering since I upgraded a week ago seem to be working okay. So hopefully everything's good there. And we got some games coming up that I'm not quite sure what to do with yet. I've mentioned No Man's Sky before. That keeps getting pushed back, but it's back to like August the 12th now or something like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to play that yet. I think what I'm going to do is probably play a little bit of it off camera to get a feel for it and then decide on what I'm going to do with that. Is that going to be a live stream thing? Is that going to be a video thing? Or is it just going to be a forget about it? Forget about it. Starbound has been released fully, and I played a little bit of it off camera. I'm still not sure how I'm going to handle that. My initial thought is that I would possibly do it as a live stream, but then I don't know. It might be a combination of both. I'm not entirely sure. I'm hoping that if the audio that's coming out of this mic is good, I'm going to use this mic for all my live streaming, and then that way I'll have nice clean audio. I mean, OBS Studio is pretty good and that it has a noise gate and stuff in it, but it's not perfect. You still get a lot of artifacting and echoing and stuff like that. So I still want to be able to generate something that I can clean up. And I still have to figure out if I can. It looks like I can record at a higher bit rate than what I actually send out on the wire, which is really good then, because that means I can get a good, clean, crisp recording for YouTube and not dumb it down to the lowest common denominator, which is Twitch, which is 3,300 bits BPS or whatever it is. So trying to figure that out. It may end up being a combination of both, because I do want to play it, and I know that there's going to be lots of grinding in that game, and I want to do that grinding off camera, or at least in a live stream, not in real time, not during an episode if I can help myself. So that's we'll see how that works. There is a lot of just standing around waiting for things to cook and all that stuff, and it makes it difficult. Even in a live stream, it's difficult to deal with because you have to you still have to be somewhat entertaining. So we'll see how that works, or how that works out, and what I can figure out with that. And then I do still. What I want to do is I do want to get Starbound. I want to get some kind of sandbox game back onto the channel, because I've taken a long break on the channel from sandbox games because of Crashlands. As good as that game was, it really did break me a little bit. When it came to sandbox games, I was like, okay, I need a good rest from all the grindiness, and that's why there hasn't been another sandbox game really on the channel since then. And I do want to get one back on there. I'm just not sure yet which. Like, I'm thinking Starbound. I'm also thinking Space Engineers, but the problem with Space Engineers is I need to get a server running that can do, like, I need to get some scripts written or some mods or something that would allow me to just get rid of some of the grindiness. Like, Space Engineers, to me, in my opinion, is even grindier than Minecraft is at times. I mean, vanilla Minecraft. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, just to make that one flat surface that I made for that landing strip, just that landing strip that I made, it's just a flat surface, nothing fancy, nothing going on. That took 10 to 15 hours of just sitting there waiting for things to cook and grinding out more resources, and it was just a freaking project and a half, and it's just a flat freaking surface. And I've got plans for making big, huge stuff in there, and it's like, okay, this is not going to work out this way unless I can automate some of this stuff, unless I can get this running during the day while I'm off at work, and then come home at night and see, oh, here's a bunch of resources you now have that you can work with, because otherwise it's going to drive you insane. And also to have some kind of welding, automated welder that can come by and weld all the stuff together, and I could just lay it out and let it weld all the pieces. Something to those effects. But those are going to take a long time for me to not only find the time to do it, but also to sit down and do it. So that's why that's been on really almost a permanent hiatus. I don't want to call it a permanent one, because I do want to get back into it. I do enjoy it, but it's just been, I need to do something else there. I have some ideas of what I want to do, but I don't want to mention them because I don't know that I'll be able to pull them out. I don't know that I'll be able to pull them off, or actually do what I want to do with that. So I'm just going to let that slide for now, and we'll see. Maybe I can get an episode in here or there. I always approach that as being a once in a while, series, not as something that was going to be every week, because I knew it was just going to be a whole lot of work. So I just want to make sure that everyone's clear that I'm still open for that. It's just I need to work up to something. I need to have some progress to show. I need to just be able to do something with that right now. And I have ideas. I need to pull the trigger on them at some point. And let's see what else is on the list here. Cube Ramblings will continue. I did take a break last week, mostly because there was nothing really to talk about. There's a little bit more stuff now, I think, so there'll probably be one this week, probably be one on Sunday, but we'll see. I think there's enough now for me to talk about that's going on that I can deal with. But occasionally you get into these lulls where there's just not a lot going on, or what is going on is not really that compelling or interesting to me. So I'm just like, maybe I'll just punt this week and then come back to it another week after I've had 2 weeks to really gather things together. So that's where that stands there. That's going to continue. I'm going to continue playing Cube World, even though we've had the 3-year anniversary of that come and go with no further updates or information. I've actually been really considering, like, changing that to a different game, because I have other games that are in my possession here that I would love to play through, that are long form games that I would love to play through, like sandboxy games. But I don't. I didn't want to break with the tradition of having Cube World in there, because one of the nice things about Cube World right now is that I'm not competing with much on there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of sound effects that are loud, even though I've turned the volume down on it pretty much, and things like that. But there's no dialogue that I have to worry about. There's nothing, really showing up on the screen too much. It's just kind of a hack and slash, and there's not a lot going on. There's long stretches of nothing. So I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe switching that to another thing. I'll still call it Cube Ramblings, but I'll probably switch it to another game. Maybe, I don't know. Right now, I'm still, I still enjoy Cube World. It's just it is getting to a point where I feel like there's other games that I know that I can't do a Let's Play of because they're just too long form for me. That I'm kind of like, hey, maybe I could swap one of these in and do this, and maybe that'll work for me. And I don't know. We'll see. We shall see on that regard. And honestly, even if I do compete a little bit with the game audio and stuff, I still do upload just my audio to the SoundCloud, so you can just hear my audio so it's not competing with other things. And people have I've actually had quite a few hits over there, and I should probably start tracking that so you guys know that how many hits I'm getting over on SoundCloud, because it's like something like 400, I think, views or something like that I've had over there and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So or listens, I should say, views. I got views on the brain, but that's it is what it is for right now. And then as far as live streaming too, I should probably also bring those numbers into this as well, because I've been getting a bunch of subs. I got a nice little compliment on my last yesterday's live stream from someone saying, hey, I've watched a lot of Borderlands 2 playthroughs on streamers doing it, and you're so far the only one that's been really entertaining while doing it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't usually get told that I'm entertaining, so it's interesting to hear it, and also awesome at the same time. So there you go on all of those fronts. Side quests are continuing. I have a few more lesser known games that I'd like to do some side quests on coming up this week. They finally released the NDA on Elder Scrolls Legends, so I was able to show that the previous week. That's pretty cool card game, so interesting stuff there. And as Steam keeps popping up in my face here to tell me, Lawbreakers is doing an event this weekend, and I'm actually in the alpha for it, and thankfully there is no NDA for it either, so I could actually put a video up of it if I wanted to. I don't know that I will, because I'm having a really bad time. Like a really bad time. Like I can't hit the broadside of a barn in this game thus far, so I think maybe I'll bow out for this particular event, but it's nice to see that they're not doing an NDA on it, so I can at least talk about the fact that I'm in it and I've been playing around in it, and and it's also now a topic for discussion in Cube Rambling. So I'm not gonna go over it too much here because of that. But yeah, all the upgrades, all the sausage being made on the channel, that is what this does, and that is what this series is for, and it's what these occasional videos are for, so you can just get a little, peel back the curtain and see what's going on in the background. And hopefully, if I can figure it out, we'll get an Oculus Rift VR video at some point up on the channel. I've been trying to play. I have been playing House of the Dying Sun, something like that. I think that's the name of it, and that looks like it would be really good as a test bed for the VR stuff. I've been trying to record it, and I'm sort of fiddling with it to see how I can record it best. But now that I have this microphone, I feel a little bit more confident that I'll be able to get at least my audio will be good, and we'll see about the video. I'm still trying to figure out how people record stuff, because it looks like everybody out there records just one eye and then expands it to the whole window, which makes everything look really crappy. I have found a way, I think, to record both eyes, but it's going to look, you're going to see double, because because there's overlap between the two eyes. So I don't know, which makes it look really bad for you watching it versus me playing it. Whereas if I just put one eye up, it'll look a little bit better. At least it'll look a little bit more sane anyway. But at the same time, it'll be all stretchy and pixelated. So I don't know. I don't know how to handle that just yet. But I'm going to play around with it a bit and see if there might be some FFmpeg, magic that I can push against that particular video or something like that. We'll see. I'm trying. I am trying very hard to get those things out there, because I like to be able to say that I can record everything. Like, I can record Android, I can record, the PC, and I can record Oculus Rift stuff, and eventually HTC Vive, although my Vive is still sitting in its box because I'm too lazy to put the damn things up on the wall, to mount the things on the wall. I have to get to that at some point. But anyway, I think that's a good wrap-up and a good roundup of the channel, as it has been for July, and it's 3 years old now, so a 3-year birthday, if you will, of the channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and subscribing and being just generally awesome people, both in the comments and when I go out and live stream. And I had no idea that I would be doing this long, and that I would still be, really enjoying it as much as I am. And it is very, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy it so much, honestly. And hopefully next month I'll have some more information about what I'm going to do as far as, the balance between live streaming and YouTube, because I feel like, a lot of the YouTubers that I watch aren't really doing YouTube as much anymore. They're doing more live streaming than they're doing anything else. And my experience thus far has been, if I'm playing an older game, which there are a lot of older games I want to play, I tend to get a lot of views over there, a lot of people interested. Whereas if I play like a newer game, there's hardly anybody who wants to see it, or maybe they're just trying not to spoil it for themselves or whatever. So I'm feeling the drive to do both, but do both relatively competently. I don't do anything well, but I might be somewhat passable at everything, and that's good enough for me. When I set out to do this 3 years ago, I said to myself, I want to have something in my life that is a hobby, to take my mind off of programming for a little bit, because I was constantly just thinking about code all day, every day, and it just starts to burn you out after a while. And I want to just have a hobby that I can be bad at and not care that I'm bad at it. And hence this channel was born. So thank you again, everybody, for subscribing. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being awesome. And thank you for 3 years of YouTube. And hopefully I will see you next time.
He's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.